Oh, snap. Check out the countdown. Oh, snap. That means ropes is going down. Let's get it. All wrestlers want to crush the competition. All right, that's cool, no problem. But I hate to, in wrestling terms, boo you out the arena because there's only one crushing it in wrestling. NWA star, champion, Clash Wrestling, and given education at her school, Fight the World Wrestling. She's, of course, a one and only sensation. Natalia Markova is in Primetime Live with Off the Top Rope Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking it up with your boy Ty Asbury. Natalia has so much going on in wrestling, outside of wrestling. This is an episode, say this, a primetime episode you do not want to miss. Check.
The Ropes Media. Tyrod Asbury. Yeah.
I don't hear anything.
Tyrod Asbury.
Going on right now.
Yeah. Every chance you get to hear us, you clear us. Just the time.
Hello.
What is up, everybody? This is your boy Ty Asbury, of course, and this is a special Thursday night primetime episode, of course. If you're dozing off, falling asleep, you better wake up because this episode you don't want to miss because, like I said, this episode will be an episode that will crush it. And, of course, I'm talking about the crush in pro wrestling, NWA star, and, of course, Clash Wrestling Women's Champion. Let's give a salute and a bow to Natalia, of course.
Hi,
Markova.
everybody.
Natalia.
Thanks for having me. Thank
Natalia,
you.
how you doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome, as always.
Yeah. Well, I will say, like I said, first and foremost, before we went live on the show, you said before, the ropes is over with, after the ropes is over with, you got to go teach your school. And I got to say, already round of applause for wanting to do that. And that's, I guess your schedule doesn't calm down, does it?
At all. I just came back from NWA tapings, basically in the morning, and then I'm teaching the class. Gotta leave for the other show this weekend, and then I have another show and like next weekend. There's just so much stuff in a row. I mean, I'm happy. That's a lifestyle I chose, and I wouldn't ever trade it for anything else.
Well, it sounds like to me, Natalia, is that you're definitely the type that you can't sit still. You got to keep working. Is that how you are, or you do like some chill time? Like how are you when it comes to that?
I'm pretty boring when it comes to chill time because all I do is just walk alone by myself listening to the music, and I go to the gym. I count it as a chill time. And sometimes I work on cars, which I love. But I don't think a lot of people find it interesting, but I personally love that.
Well, no, I think it's cool working on cars. I mean, because I know, like I said, you're really into fitness, which being a wrestler, you should. And if anybody wants to ask, and people watching the show tonight, work on a car, does that that's probably a workout too? I mean, lifting hoods and it's
most
cars, yeah.
Body because they gotta be bent in all weird positions just to reach some thing that you really want to reach, and then you stay there for a while to make it work. So it's a workout, but not the one you want for your health. But it's so fun. I love cars, and I like especially vintage retro cars. I love that one Ferrari Testarossa from Miami Vice. Like lately, just stuck in my head. I want to have it so bad. So that will be on my bucket list, maybe sometime in the future. But yeah, that's a fun thing to do. And again, like I said, another thing I love is just walking. It's a good cardio also. Like I combine really. I think it helps just to keep your mind together, just walk alone, listen to the music you love. And I mean, I live in Florida, so what can be better than that? I live on the beach, so it's like all beautiful sceneries. It makes me so happy. It's all I want in my spare time.
Yeah. Well, Natalia, I'm kind of jealous right now because you're in Florida. I'm in upstate New York with the snow and the mountains, so kind of wish I could be you right now. So.
I just came back. Like I said, I did Clash wrestling show when you said I'm a champion there, I retained my title. That was in Detroit, so that was pretty cold there. And then I went to Nashville after that for NWA tapings. A little nicer, and it was not really cold. I would say it was a nice weather, but still kind of chilly. And then I came back to Florida, which was a perfect weather. Now it's a perfect season in Florida. It's not that humid. It's not really hot. It's like May in New York, where you are now, like May. So this type of weather. So I'm more than happy to be back for a few days.
Well, off the top rope tonight is Florida hot because you're on the show. And like I said again, thank you for wanting to do the show, taking the time out of your busy schedule, to talk to all the fans and on Off the Top Rope Thursday night prime time special. Now, Natalia, I got to ask you now, if a fan has a couple bucks, they want to go to a wrestling match. Now, if they took that ticket to see any wrestling match, any wrestling superstar, and they pick, Natalia Markova, why should they take the ticket and go see you? Because you're the star of today, tomorrow. Why should they take that ticket and go see Natalia?
I mean, I should not be the one to judge and say why you should come and see me. I just see the result. People actually want come and see me. Every time somebody puts me on the flyers, like ticket sales immediately, not trying to be cocky about it, but that's the fact. I mean, it's probably a combination of my kind of unique style of wrestling, because I'm coming from Japanese base. So that's where I started, like actually learning how to wrestle, and mixed with European wrestling, Mexican wrestling. It's like all styles combined. So that makes people say like my way of selling is unique. So maybe that, hopefully the way I look helps a little bit too, which again, I always say, like, sometimes nowadays people say, oh, look don't matter. You just got to be a great wrestler. I think it all matters. I mean, if you just have a good look but you're a horrible wrestler, that's horrible. But if you're a good wrestler, which I'm trying to be like the best I can be and always learn to become better, and then on top of that having good gear, good look, and whatever, I think it just helps. So like I said, I think combination of everything, that's what sells tickets.
Now, actually, Natalia, I saw like the gear that you rock to the ring, and like always, like I said, it's like every wrestler has their different, wardrobe they wear to the ring. So for you, is that your idea, or a person who makes your outfits? Because you do have some badass attire that you wear to the ring.
Sorry for that. It's like my light went off for some reason.
That's okay.
I'm in the car. Let me make it work. Yeah, there you go. Sorry for that. Can you please repeat the question?
No, it's okay. But like, as far as like I said, what you wear to the ring, like you got some like really cool badass wardrobe that you wear to the ring. Is that all you, or your designer that helps you out? Like, because it has to fit your personality.
I designed that stuff myself. I know my body. I know what makes my body look better. So I design all my gear. And for people who play video games, and I love video games, I used to play them a lot when I was a kid and a little later in my life. Hopefully I would have a chance to play more in my recent life. But those are inspired by two video games, Final Fantasy and Mortal Kombat. So it's kind of combined of both. Mortal Kombat, obviously, people see that a lot. They see like, yeah, I can see this. But Final Fantasy, it still had that vibe. It's a little bit of like Japanese-ish design. So hopefully it is badass. I prefer to think that. And like I said, I think that I highlight my best features in this outfit. I'm actually designing the new gear, which will look a little different from what I have now. And it's a little more open. It shows a little bit more of my body. So for those people who appreciate that part, you should be excited. Hopefully in the next 2 months or so, it will be done.
Yeah. Well, like I said, hey, I could tell you're the person. Once you do something, you put your mind to it. So I know your wardrobe is going to be slamming. So, like I said, watch out, fans, for when Natalia, debuts her new slam and kick-ass wardrobe. Now, Natalia, I made this clip especially for you because I'm proud of you and I want to share this with the fans. And like this, like I got to say, how awesome this is because all these great accomplishments that you've achieved. I mean, Japan, on some AEW or WWE, network matches, like all this stuff. I mean, I'm sure you're blessed every day to see that graphic of you, of what you do. I mean, it's just like how would words describe that what you've accomplished? Because like, girl, you've done a lot.
Yeah, and this flyer actually it's like from a few years ago. It's a flyer for my school, but I already added a bunch of stuff to the list that I have there. So that makes me kind of like rethink about actually, you know what? I'm not doing that bad. I've done so much stuff since I made that flyer. That makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like a really cool thing. And the fact that you said you're not done yet, and I know you're not done yet, but like I said, definitely a round of applause for what
Thank
you've
you.
done ever since you started in wrestling. I mean, you got so much ahead of you, and like I said, I'm ready for the ride to see what more, of course, and what you
I'm
accomplished.
excited. I'm really excited about this coming year. I have so much stuff planned, and hopefully everything will go well, and maybe some cool stuff will pop on top of that. Really excited about next year.
Now, Natalia, being a wrestler, I mean, you got so much, a trainer, Clash Wrestling, NWA. When you look at, which is crazy, this year's almost over with, but how this past year, like, how did you keep yourself going without getting like physically and mentally like beat down? Because that can happen to talent. Like, what did you do that helped you? And you're like, wow, 2023, that's going to help me for that year. Like, what did you do to keep it? Because it's got to be mentally draining in what you do.
Well, that's actually a good thing about this whole thing is that I genuinely love everything I do. So I don't really need to do anything to keep going. I just keep going because I love it. And whatever happens, let's say I did this show and I'm really I feel so happy after. Like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And every weekend I'm like, yes, I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to go teach my students. I want to go do those tapings, or like we did this tour with Smashing Pumpkins to be on the stage. Everything I do, I love. So I don't really need to force myself or to find ways to get through this. It just comes naturally, that's what I love, and I would never trade, like I said before. Sometimes obviously there are moments when you feel a little down and you gotta be like, hey, I just gotta keep going. But then again, I just think I've been through so much and I have so much stuff ahead. There's no way I want to stop. I just got to get through hard times. And actually, the way my mind works, when I feel like I feel down and it gets harder, I start pushing even harder. I start working way harder. I start training. I start doing stuff, trying to find ways to get somewhere. So hard times motivate me even more. Good times, they just keep me happy.
Yeah. I got to say, for people who definitely are happy tonight in prime time, I know why you're happy. You're watching Off the Top Rope Thursday night in prime time because, of course, the one, the only, the crush, Natalia Markova is live tonight here on the ropes. She is doing wonderful, wonderful things. And like I always said, you want to ask her a question, leave it on the comment box. She'll answer it, and I'll be glad to read it on the air. Like I said, Natalia Markova is doing big things. Like I said, this lady is the real deal. Now, Natalia, one thing I definitely want to, I got to ask you about. I'm sure we all like a good laugh. I'm sure you had good laughs while being on the road. So this clip I made for you, I call this an oops moment. Now, in most recent in wrestling, outside of wrestling, is there something you did where you were like kind of like oops, like something like, and it made you laugh like nonstop, like something that happened to you, like how like we had those days where like you're just like, man, that gave me a good laugh. I can't believe I did that.
That's a really tough question. There's so much stuff happening every day, and it's really hard to get through my mind right now and pick one like crazy thing that happened. I mean, it's not like really a funny thing, but it probably would be an oops thing. I remember when I was about to go on the show in Texas, and I was like literally like 10 minutes before I had to go. Um, I decided to enter the bathroom real quick. So I put my zipper down on my gear and it broke. And I was like, oops, that's an oops moment here. So I ran backstage real quick. I always have a spare gear in my suitcase. So I had to get changed in like less than 5 minutes probably. And I had my gold gear, the zipper broke. So I got changed into my red one. And luckily I was in time. I was like, okay, there you go. Nothing happened. That was a crazy moment. I was really like, whoa, that was dangerous.
Now, actually, Natalia, like I said, fans are commenting because you're on the show. So if you can answer this comment for for
Sure.
this fan, of course, they want to know. Of course, are you planning on winning the NWA Women's Title this year? Because you said 2023, Natalia got plans. So how you feeling about the NWA? I think it looked good around your waist, Natalia.
I agree with that. I think anything looks great on my waist by default at first, but yes, that's the plan. I think that I'm almost, I feel like I'm over a year with NWA at this point. I think I've proved myself enough to at least have a title match with Camille. She's a great champion. So I gotta give her credit. I think she's a great wrestler. She has really good in ring presence. She's awesome. She's in great shape. So I think that she's a great opponent for me for the title. I think I deserve that. Plus, if you guys remember, I had a match with her, and there were so many people interrupting the match, and it basically led to nothing. I didn't lose. I didn't lose my match.
So you
So
didn't lose. You didn't lose. So
yes, so title.
well, I think I said, well, one day on the ropes, if Camille, if y'all get together and promote the match, I'm gonna have to have maybe for the first time the both of you on off the top rope because that'd be sizzling because, like I said, that'd be a good matchup, and we're holding you to it. We want to see gold, on your
Yeah.
waist. It's gonna happen, Natalia. It's going to be the year of Natalia for 2023,
Mark?
and yeah, definitely, no doubt. Natalia, when you look at wrestling, we know wrestling changes year by year by year. As we look at wrestling, probably now, on this very day, moving forward, what's one word how you would describe wrestling today?
I think it's the most fans engage in wrestling of all time. Like if you say what makes wrestling nowadays stand out and be different from the past, fans play a big part in wrestling. Like with nowadays with social media, Twitter, and whatever else social media we have, fans are a part of it. All wrestlers, no matter how hard they try to pretend they don't, they look at social media and they pay attention. I mean, I wouldn't be speaking for everybody. Obviously, there are exceptions. I pay attention to social media a lot, and I listen to fans. If I see fans saying something, I make sure that at least I listen and pay attention and consider whatever they say. I want fans to be a part of it because I say it all the time. It may sound a little corny, but there will be no wrestling if there would be no fans. Fans are a part of it. It doesn't mean that whatever fans tell you, you gotta go and do it immediately. Obviously not. Should be other way around. But I really like the idea of fans being a part of the show because when they go there live, they're part of the show. They cheer, they boo, they do whatever. So when they talk on social media, I never take an offense. If they don't like something about it, or they say bad stuff, I'm like, that's cool. That's an opinion. I'll consider it. I love it. I love that fans are a part of wrestling.
I really love what you said, Natalia, because first and foremost, outside of me being a podcast host on wrestling, I'm a fan as well, and you're taking the time to talk to me, so you're really making a name for yourself doing that. I saw on your Twitter you engage in fans, and like I said, you're doing the right thing, and God bless and props to you, for definitely doing that and everything. And we gotta get on the topic of nice, sunny. Wish I could be there, Florida. Which you're at right now, and you're about to go to your school. How is Florida, Natalia, from an indie wrestling standpoint? Like, I mean, how is the indie wrestling scene? Is it booming? Is it could be better? I mean, do you analyze that a lot, or how from what you see?
Well, from what I see, Florida is not the biggest scene for wrestling. It's more like little local promotions. Obviously, there's NXT in Atlanta. I wouldn't count that. But Florida is not the biggest stage for wrestling. So if you say you're an indie wrestler and I want to be like a big deal in wrestling, Florida is not a place to go. I barely do shows in Florida lately. I'm most of the time I'm out of town. But if you're in Florida and you're watching this right now, I actually in the last like probably almost a year, I'll be doing show in Florida. It's POW. Check it out. Pride of come see me. Um, Next weekend, December 17th. So it's I think I'm in all Florida. I don't want to lie about it. Sorry. Find the flyer. Find Pride of Wrestling page. I'll be wrestling there for the title. I was the champion a while ago, so I never got my revenge. So now it's the time for revenge. Per, yeah. So come and watch.
Come and watch. And before we, like I said, later on before we end the show, Natalia, I want you to plug that so fans know, where they can see you, crush the competition, coming up with that too. So, but like I said, that's definitely a cool thing. Hey, December 17th, it's not too far away. So it's coming up.
Yeah, Tampa Bay area. It's where I live. Yeah, talk to me, buy my merch. I always have my merch, my T-shirts, badass with a great ass. Uh, I uh, guest cards, really few left. I think like 3 left. So get those, and I have I buy chance always. So also, by the way, guys, give me merch ideas because I'm down. If you wanna, like, I know a lot of people ask about stickers. You guys want to see stickers? Maybe I will make those. Let me know when you want to see and what would you buy. You can DM, you can tweet, whatever you want. If you have any cool ideas for merch, I'll definitely listen. Like I said before.
Now, like I said, of course, you're the only one and only crush in wrestling. And I don't know if you've done it before. You should try to do something with merch where something like you crushing something. And I'm trying to think about that. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not the best drawer. I mean, I'm not. So, but that's something I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking about that. Like,
For t-shirt designs, if we have some t-shirt designers listening to this right now, come up with cool designs. I'll give you credit in a post that you designed my t-shirt. I'm down if there's something crushing, like the deal with me being a crush. Obviously it has two meanings, me crushing and crush as a crush, like a wrestling crush. So maybe you can combine it all in one logo somehow. I'm down for that. Open for any ideas.
yeah. Like I said, anybody watching the show, listen to what Natalia's saying. Like I said, you help her out with the design, she'll give you, like I said, a good reference. So, and Natalia, you have done so much. Like I said, you wrestled all over the top talent in wrestling. So this next segment of the show is like a two-parter. And when you see these matches, I'm sure you're going to say, I remember these matches quite well. So, and I know in wrestling, when you have a match, you learn and you move forward. Now, this first match, of course, I'm going to roll up on a clip, of course. It was against the great, of course, Mickey James. She had her resumes like through the roof. And well, if you go back, what was one word to describe this match on NWA?
Obviously, that was a great experience for me. It was really big pleasure to wrestle the legend. I respect Mickey James. I think she's great. She's done a lot for women's wrestling industry in general. It was a great experience, and I'm almost, I would say, I'm proud of myself that I saw those reviews after everybody said I was on a good level there. I didn't, like I didn't stand out in a bad way. So I'm happy with that. People love that match. So if you guys want to go check it out, it's on NWA YouTube channel. Go subscribe to NWA YouTube channel regardless, because there's a lot of fun stuff. You can see a lot of me there. That's the company I'm really close with right now, and it's a company I really love. I love Billy Corgan. He's the great boss. I think he knows what he's doing. So go check this out. Go watch my match with Mickey James there. I have other amazing matches that you can watch. NWA YouTube channel, subscribe.
Yeah, you definitely getting some like I said, yeah, your match, Mickey James, 5 stars. I say a million stars, but of course, yeah, it was definitely was a good match. I did actually watch that match as well, and when I saw that, Natalia, I like that diamond cutter you gave to Mickey. When I was watching that clip, I was like, yeah, I like that. So it's definitely nice.
Every move I do, like I add a little bit of spice to those. I think it just makes it cooler.
a little bit of spice from Natalia. And this next match, of course, I watched this too. I loved it. Of course, this was from, of course, Clash Wrestling, which, like I said, the women's championship match. And of course, this match was against, of course, you and Jody, Threat. How would you describe this match? This is a classic too.
Yeah, I love that match. Jody Threat is awesome. She's a really underrated wrestler. She works strong style. She's really snug in a safe way. I love working her. Like, that was so much fun. I think she's amazing, and I wish her the best. I hope she will make it somewhere big eventually. She's awesome. I would love to wrestle her again at some point.
Yeah, but I saw that match. I mean, it's like, well, you have, by watching your matches, Natalia, you have a power style, but you also have like a finesse. You have a lot of things mixed into one, and I really enjoyed that. Like you just, like I said, you got the diamond cutters, and like I said, you're a power wrestler. Like I said, you got all those things, all those gifts, Christmas terms. You have all those gifts that work in the ring, and like I said, 2023. It's all you, Natalia. It's definitely all you.
Together basically really vicious and strong snug style with sexiness and grace. I think it's a good combo. I try to roll with that. Plus it comes naturally. That's how I am in life almost. So I think that it gives me some kind of personality, and I hope that fans see that.
Now we'll talk about your school later on. For what you do, being running your school. What's one thing you would tell your students first thing about like character development to help with them in today's wrestling? Because wrestling was different in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Like, what would you tell them about character development in today's wrestling?
First thing I tell all my students as it comes to the character, don't copy anybody, please. You can be inspired. Like, let's say you like Shawn Michaels. Don't copy and try to be the second Shawn Michaels. You can watch what he does, pay attention to details, but then you pick maybe another like 5 wrestlers. You look at all of them and you pick whatever you like about them and you make your own. You still got to be your own personality. Copy is always a copy. It will never be the original. A lot of people, especially people who just start and getting into wrestling, he's like, oh, I love Jeff Hardy. I want to be like Jeff Hardy. You cannot be Jeff Hardy. You can be inspired by Jeff Hardy and use some of the stuff that maybe affects you a little bit, but you still gotta be your own character. That's extremely important. You gotta be unique. Only unique stuff stands out, and people want to see unique characters. They don't want to see copies. That's the main thing I would say about character.
Preach, girl, preach. Yes, I like that. Like I said, to the point. Just be yourself. I mean, that's the one thing. Just be you. And the rest, I'm sure, Natalia tell you as well. The rest will follow. Now, Natalia, this is your first time on Off the Top Rope. I got to try to stump you with this next segment. So we're gonna roll to the next segment here on the show. You ready for the next segment?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Damn, Ty. That's good.
Here we go to the question. Now, we're going to go back to, of course, a lot about, Russia, and, we're going to try to crush it on this one. Now, with your, Russia roots, the question is, Natalia, create a Russian-style gimmick match. Never been done before. And outside of that, who's your opponent?
A Russian-style wrestling?
Yeah.
There's no really such thing as Russian style in wrestling, honestly. I wouldn't even know what you talk about when you mean Russian style. Russian wrestling is not that big, so there's no style. I can say Mexican style or Japanese style. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as Russian style.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, but if you can create your own type of wrestling match, like what would be on the top if you can create your own type of match?
Hard to tell. I usually don't separate wrestling by countries. That's not really my thing. And when people try to be like, oh, you're Russian, you're this, oh, you're Russian, you're that, I don't really think that it works that way. I think that, yeah, I am Russian. Probably the most Russian thing about me is my accent that I cannot. Otherwise, again, I wouldn't want Russian to be something that defines me. I'm my own person. Like I said, I mixed a lot of styles, and I'm not that creative. I mean, maybe some people can come up with some Russian style, and what would be Russian style, I really can't. To me, it doesn't matter if you're French, American, Japanese, Russian. It's just who you are, Again, like I said before, just be yourself. I'm myself. I'm not even a typical Russian. Like when I'm in Russia, people like, well, you really stand out, you're not really that Russian. So I'm sure to people in America I look too Russian, maybe. I don't know, it depends on people's stereotypes, but like I said, in wrestling I don't use Russian gimmick. I don't come with a flag. I don't do any of that. I just want to be my own person.
That's just all about, like I said, that's like a true honest answer. Just be yourself and just be you, and that's where it's gotten you, in the great world of pro wrestling. Now, Natalia, I know you're busy. You got to go teach some classes. Like I said, get the stars of today and tomorrow ready. To get in the ring. So before we roll out this episode of Off the Top Rope, like I said, I know you got a lot coming on. So slam and promote. Like I said, got your Facebook up there, your Twitter, like I said, your school, NWA, and also got your Amazon wish list. I know your birthday's next
Oh,
month too, so
oh yeah.
I put that up there for you. So what's up next for the great Natalia Markova?
Oh, that's a question. Well,
Yeah.
like I said, there might be cool stuff. Remember, guys, I was about to go to AAA at some point. So this is about to happen next year in 2023. Check for updates. I'm excited about that part. Also, there is a huge thing coming up: NWA versus AAA in March. Go to Smashing Pumpkins page. Check this out. There are no talent announced yet for that, but it's definitely something worth paying attention to. Again, it's going to happen in March. It will be a huge rock concert. Smashing Pumpkins going to be part of it, and there will be wrestling. Huge events, thousands of people in Mexico. That's something you guys got to check out. Also, as it comes to my school, yeah, I have a really, really good school. I would say Tampa Bay area, Florida. If you want to be a wrestler, a ballet, or a referee, announcer, anything wrestling related, you see this flyer, call the number or DM me. I will give you all information. Don't waste your time. Just join. It's fun. All my students are happy. They love doing that. And you get a chance to be a part of wrestling.
No doubt. Like I said, wrestling school, NWA, Clash, wrestling women's champion, Natalia Markova. You're doing so many big things. And Natalia, like I said, before I let you go, from 1 to 10, would you ever come back on Off the Top Rope again?
Yes, I actually like your professionalism. I like that you're so prepared with all little clips, little plugs, little sections. I like that. You're also amazing and respectful. So thank you for having me. Last little plug I forgot to say, speaking of NWA, we're going to have a first ever live power in Knoxville, January.
Yeah.
So
I've been waiting for that. Yeah.
Watch it. You can also watch it live on Fight TV, or just come support, come see the show live in Knoxville. I'll have my merch, of course. You can come meet me, come meet other wrestlers. That's gonna be fun.
Well, Natalia, I gotta say first thing too. If you could talk to Billy Corrigan, I'm in upstate New York, so talk to him about possibly getting NWA to the great old upstate New York. So talk to him, maybe slide my name to him and say, get NWA up there because you guys are doing big things. And NWA with yourself added, you guys are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And much respect to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we all know Natalia. She got to get to her class. Like I said, wrestling, teach students, she does best. She's the best. She wants you to be the best as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for the great Natalia Markova. Like I said, NWA sensation, Clash Wrestling Women's Champion. She is the real deal. Natalia, God bless you. Stay healthy, be safe, and we're proud of you on the show. And keep doing what you're doing, girl.
Yeah, all the best to my fans too and everybody. Thank you for having me. It was fun. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. I'm your boy Ty Asbury. Like I said, Natalia Markova was my guest tonight. Have a great night. As always say, love yourself, love God. We're out of here. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.
The Ropes Media. Tyrone Asbury.